This one I start.
From US to European Union, from Middle East to Australia, the world wants to be India ally. And even our Honorable External Affairs Minister recently said that India has a multi-vector foreign policy and Vishwamitra, the friend of the global world. Jhin everyone, today I am going to give a lecture on the topic of India's foreign policy. We'll see how India's foreign policy was framed by our Honorable First Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru on the basis of Panchashil principles. And we also enshrined in this Directive Principle of State Policy, Article 51, which shows that India promotes for international peace and security, honorable relations with friendly nations and disputes and respect all the UN treaties and also respectfully negotiate with arbitration. And we can see now the evolutions of our foreign policy. Our foreign policy evolved with idealism, Nehruvian idealism, and to realpolitik and post-Cold War era and economic diplomacy and globalization. Now we are following assertive foreign policy. These are the evolution of our foreign policy. And we will see what are the dimensions of our foreign policy. The first dimension is India voices for security for growth of all region. For example, we have launched the Sagar Doctrine, security and growth for all in the region of Indo-Pacific. Our Indian Navy and Indian Air Force have been protecting our Indian Ocean region, Arabian Sea, from Gulf of Aden to Malacca Strait. This shows that India segues for this and fights against the terrorism in all over the world. And in the example, we can see economic diplomacy. We have been signing many free trade agreements. Many nations have been ready to sign free trade agreements with India. For example, recently we have signed a free trade agreement called Trade Economic Partnership Agreement with Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, these countries. This shows that India is assertively following its foreign policy. And also, we are making a scheme called Make in India, Make for the World, that we are producing goods not only for India, also for the world. And also, we are focusing on our foreign policy like Look East policy to Act East policy. We are enhancing our Northeast into integration with Asian economies. And also, we have started an economic blocks like example BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and G20 nations. We are voicing for everyone. Like India G20 presidency of 18th presidency, we integrated the African Union into the permanent member of G20. This shows that India is a voice of global south. Then in terms of soft power diplomacy, India uses weapons, the tools of foreign soft power diplomacy very strategically. Like example, Buddhism. India shows the world to the Buddhism. International Yoga Day of June 21 was given by India. International Year of Millets in 2023 was given by India. And also we can see our India is focusing on most number of in terms of soft power diplomacy, Gaganyaan mission, etc. Finally, what are the challenges in India's foreign policy? Some of the challenges we can see that Maldives from pro-India to pro-China, we have loosened the Maldives and also this shows that a cause of concern for India. And the second one is balancing the power between West and the East as global world is going towards changing geopolitical landscape where Russia-Ukraine war, Israel-Palestine war is going on, where it has become difficult for India to balancing the national interest. And now in my opinion, I like to conclude by saying that India is following its foreign policy with strategic autonomy and pursuing its national interest. We have taken neutral stand even Russia-Ukraine war. Finally, I like to conclude by saying that India's foreign policy shows that not only for India, also for the world. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vikshas. This was the same thing which is followed in G20. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One world, one health and one family. Thank you.
Imagine a world where children are not able to play in open air. Imagine a world where families are not getting drinking waters, and a world where the vibrant colors of nature has been turned into the monotonous grey. Jhin everyone, I Khazan Pandey going to deliver my lecture on the topic pollution. We see that pollution is increasing nowadays very big. Since the industrializations, we send the toxic airs into the open environment. These gases cause the pollution. When the harmful gases like CO2, carbon monoxide sent into the environment, they causes the various phenomena like climate change, greenhouse gases, etc. Pollution can be of many types, basically like air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, light pollution, etc. When everything in the earth is in form of the fixed proportion and a fixed ratio. When the ratio gets disturbed, the pollution occurs in the earth. The same happening in the current scenario when the toxic gases or the other gases are coming due to the activities of humans in the environment. The pollution is rising. The one more thing that the plastic which is coming in the environment has changed the all phenomena of the earth. This plastic is very harmful because its degradation period is very long. It takes up to 1000 years for fully degrade. The degradation of this plastic is also leads to the nanoplastic germination. When this nanoplastic comes into the open environment, it because our cell is not able to distinguish between the plastic and other good elements which are necessary for the cells to survive. So our cell or plant cell engulfs these microplastics into its body, and this plastic leads to the biological changes. When the biological changes happens in our environment, it changes the phenomena of the earth which are naturally going on, and it also leads to the plastic. It blocks the surface of the leaves, which leads to the pollution. Pollution is a very great challenge in front of the world, but it is not insurmountable. We can eradicate the pollution by awareing peoples, educating peoples to perform eco-friendly tasks. We can focus on the 3R technique, that is reduce, reuse, recycle. We also can do many campaigns regarding awareing peoples about the pollution. Thank you.
Armenia is saying Nicaragua is its territory, and Azerbaijan is saying Nicaragua is its territory. Good morning all of you. So today's my lecture topic is Azerbaijan and Armenia conflict. As you all know that this conflict has started a very year ago in 1988, and this conflict is happening just because of one region, Nicaragua, which is having a more population, which is having 80% of population is speaking Armenian language, but the whole area is controlled by Armenian people, Armenian government. And this conflict started when the discriminated of Soviet Union. When 1980s, all the Soviet Union countries started feeling that Soviet Union is going to disintegrate. So all the people have started making their autonomous government and started making their own maps. But in 1988, Nicaragua parliament is also made that decision that they will went to the Armenia side. But eventually that region comes under the Armenia side, so Armenia's troop immediately went there and control all the region. From that time only the war started happening, and in 1990 the first full scale war is happening there, and massive amount of casualty happened. From that time to till now, it is a completely conflict situation is going on, and we have witnesses that in 2020 the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict is again raised, and this time it was a full scale massive war happened, and in that time the heavy number of peoples are getting refugees. Many of the people went to the Europe, some of went to the Asia also, and in that time the United Nations Security Council also comes in the middle, and they provided the humanitarian aid to that situation, also provide the financial aid to both the countries so that the people can get easily recover. But it has some of the negative impact to the whole world. Like we have seen that today's world is fully globalized world, and if one part of the world is happening something, so it can affect all over the world. So same thing happened to that situation also, because that war is happening in the middle of that world, so the whole country is suffering from that thing. And we also know that it is also impacting India's. Like we have seen that India having a neutral relationship between both the countries, and also we have seen that Azerbaijan is good in oil and gas production. So India wants to make its relationship good with that. So because of that, something India is having impact on this this situation. At the last, I want to conclude it in a simple way that both the countries has to come together and talk to each other and sort it out its border dispute. Although 1 January 2024 they were sorted out, they have done the ceasefire agreement, and also now the treated their अपनी बाउंड्रीज को अच्छे से ट्रीट कर रहे हैं, एंड नाउ एवरीथिंग इज वेंट गो गुड.
Worlds come together for peaceful result. Worlds comes together for peaceful result. Good morning, everyone. My topic is Israel-Palestine issues. For started from Israel-Palestine issues, we very well known about the Israel as well as Gaza Strip. So first of all, in between Israel and Gaza Strip, we will introduce one character is Hamas. It is a armored terrorist group which is mounted attack on Israel in 7th of October 2023. For whole scenario, we will take a look and we will take a glance about history part. This issue started from 1917, in which James Balfour stated that Palestine is a home of Jews. This is below the relation in between Israel and Palestine. After that, in 1948, Britain withdrew their forces from Israel territory and hand over this territory to the newly made United Nations. And after that, 1948, United Nations gave partition plan, in which basically Gaza Strip as well as some part of West Bank and Jerusalem are considered as a Palestine, and rest of other part is considered as a Israel. But in between the both counterpart are not agreed for this partition plan, and after that 1967 one six-day war happened in between both country and you can say both counterpart, because in the meantime Palestine have no status of country. After that, in between both countries war, Israel acquired the whole 67% territory, which is raised about the partition plan. Along with in 1973, Oslo Camp Accord also in between both counterpart, but it is not sufficient for the peaceful result. After that, 1984, Hamas invaded. This Hamas invaded as a Egypt Muslim Brotherhood, which is violent jihad, which is create a violent jihad in this territory. And this Hamas group governed this Gaza Strip after 2006. In between 2007, USA gave a terrorist group entity to this Hamas group. After this, we will take a look about the whole scenario. In 1993, we seen Oslo Accord, which will the peaceful result in between Arab country as well as Israel. This issue is not in a region issue; it is a Middle East issue. And for at last, my conclusive statement, we will come together. We will take a stand about any kind of terrorism, because it is not a war, not a genocide. It is a human life. Thank you.
Defense Acquisition Council has given their red flag towards the procurement of the Dassault Rafale M Marine for procurement for the INS Vikrant indigenous air carrier. Good morning, gentlemen. I will be delivering my lecture in the topic of Rafale, a game changer for India. India procured Rafale from France and signed the deal in 2016 for the procurement of 36 Rafale aircraft, and it will get 36 aircraft in 2021 and accommodated in two air bases such as in Ambala Air Base, and second one is the Hasimara Air Base in West Bengal. These two locations are very strategic for India and India, because India will take operation from the Pakistan and the China, and from the Hasimara it will tackle down the China very easily and also secure the chicken neck of India. Now if I talk about the capabilities of Rafale, we have seen the combat range of Rafale is around 780 km to 1680 kilometers, and it has the 14 hard points that can accommodate it around Meteor air-to-air missile, Mica cruise missile, and the Scalp is also a cruise missile. And the Rafale is the 4.5 generation, and also have the capabilities to undertake multi-role operations such as air-to-air combat and surface-to-air combats. Now if I give you the recent developments, as I have said earlier about the procurement of the 26 Rafale for the Marine to accommodate in the INS Vikrant, we have seen India is going towards the procurement of this aircraft because it has proven its capabilities in many countries such as Mali, Iraq, and many other countries also. And India has the fourth country that have Rafale in their air force, such as Egypt, France, and if I give you the comparison between China and India, there is a aircraft named J-20 Chengdu. If we see if we compare these two aircraft, Chengdu is the 5th generation aircraft, and the sort Rafale is 4.5, but Rafale has the air superiority in many ways. If I give you my opinion in that, Rafale has the capabilities to undertake any air superiority combat in recent time, because it's proven its combat capabilities. Thank you.
Article 41 stands for giving work to people. It is also known as right to work. So the government of India provides for allotting employment to the people. So Jai Hind everyone, my name is Manisha Best, and the topic of my today's lecturette is about one of the world's largest employment scheme, that is known as Manrega. It is an acronym that stands for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, that was enacted in 2005 by the Ministry of Rural Development. So if we talk about the objective of this scheme, the main objective is to provide employment for the rural household, especially the poor people. If you talk about the status of this scheme as of the financial year 2024, then 15 crore people are employed under this scheme. More than 5 crore households are beneficiaries of this scheme. Now this act provides for certain provisions. The first one is about the right to demand and get employed within 15 days. The next one is about the right to receive work within the distance of 5 kilometer radius from your home. The minimum eligibility criteria that is required is to have achieved the 18 years and to be eligible for the work and to be willing to do the manual work. The various kind of manual work are of unskilled types. So the first one will be in the agriculture sector, fisheries sector, or providing rural employment in the road construction. As we are seeing that most of the 68% of the people, rural population, resides in the remote areas, and these population are unable to migrate themselves to the urban areas. So therefore the need was felt to introduce a scheme like Manrega. Now let me tell you about the benefits of this scheme. This scheme has shown that the government is willingly working for the welfare of the people, especially making effort to provide decent working hours. The next benefit is that the unskilled people who are unable to get skilled jobs in urban areas can get job in the rural areas and in their close vicinity. Now let me tell you about the challenges that this scheme is facing. The first one challenge is that the recent development of the government was to give wage to the people based on the Aadhaar biometric attendance, to which most of the people find a troubleshooting. So therefore, to redress this issue, the government should first tell people how to use that, and there should be universal accession to mobile phones so that people can also have the notification on when they are getting payment. The next challenge is that delayed payment. So there should be a due compensation that is given to the people when they are receiving the delayed payment. At last, I want to state that there should be more number of days in the Manrega scheme. It is only 100, and we are seeing that there is a disparity between the states. Some states, for example, Haryana is providing the highest wage, 350, whereas the Chhattisgarh is only 300. So that should be reduced. Thank you.
Women are not only the flame of fire in the house, but the soul of immense itself. Jai Hind everyone, my today's lecturate topic is role of women in the society. If we talk about the role of women in society, talking about the literacy rate of the women in Indian country is 70.3% approximately according to the survey of 2023 report. And if we talk about the females in the Indian society, that is approx 48.41%. If we talk about the modern era, the society is trying to uplift the women in betterment by the implementing of schemes. If we talk about the previous past reasons, the sati system and the burqa system was implemented in the society, but our Indian society is trying to enhance all this and eradicate the things. If we talk about the positivity and the positivity of the woman is considered as the backbone of the society to uplift the families by doing the household work, not only in the household, but they are interacting in the society also for the development of the nation. If we talk about the self-help groups, the women are also giving their surveillance in a better way possible. If talking about the society from the sports to the culture, journalism to the mass media, all the women are leading in the, if we talk about the things that we have seen from the past till recent year, women are not only the one who is indulged in some specific bulls, they are trying for the betterment of the society. If we see the Jhansi Ki Rani to the Savitribai Phule, they have been trying to enhance the status of the women from the very past era. Women are not only the one who are considered as the burden to the family. The challenges they are facing is the gender inequality, discrimination, the dowry system, and the violence of which they are being getting eradicated. Beti Bachao scheme is also implemented in order to save them. नारी से शक्ति है, शक्ति स्वयं नारी है. If we conclude this point, it is itself is shaping the women's regulation in the society. From the Savitribai Phule, if I talked about the thing that she invested a development and also enhanced the society's if there is a democracy, only the voice of the women should be raised and be seen. Thank you.
Online gaming has transformed from a niche hobby to a global phenomenon. Good morning all of you, my name is Abishek and I am going to deliver my lecture on the topic online gaming. Online gaming generally refers to playing video games online through internet or mobile phones or systems. But online gaming can be a can be important as well as it consists of both negative and positive points. I would like to introduce you to the topic by providing some importance of the online gaming first, that is social connection. Online gaming builds connection between players far from the world that are playing together. It bridges the geographical gaps and let them play together in a real time and provides them a real time experience. Second is cognitive ability. Playing online games can improve your cognitive ability, just like it can improve your reflexes and hand-eye coordination by playing shooting games, and also playing puzzle games or puzzle games can improve your mental ability. Third point is educational potential. Online games can be also used as a source of providing education to children of different age groups by including the knowledge into the games. And the fourth one is economic driver. As we know that online gaming can be a fun way, but it is also providing employment and boosting our economy at the same time. Let us take the example of PUBG, which was recently in news and has grown from a very low level to a very high level. It has been also included in esports. So the online gaming level has been improving day by day. After some importance, I would like to throw some light on the positive points of the online gaming. The first one is reducing stress. Playing games online can make your mind give your mind relief and reduce your stress after a long working day. Second is building connections. You can build connection with the player from far from the other places who have same mindset as you, with whom you play the games. It builds connection and belongs and brings a self of belonging. And third point is online gaming also generates employment in the country, as it is a hobby that currently recent generation is converting into their profession. Just like we can see the YouTube channels and various gaming platforms through which people are playing games and generating money and boosting the economy. It also faces some challenges, just like addiction. People are getting addicted to it daily, which is affecting their health. At last, I would like to conclude by saying that online gaming can be a hobby, but it can also boost the economy and generate employments. But at the same time, it can be addictive and can cause health issues. So a person should play in a limit and do not give much time to that. Thank you.
A better conversation solve the disputes before they arise. So my today's lecture topic is on the basis of the same theme. Good morning, gentlemen. I, Jitendra Kumar, will be the deliver lecture topic on the surgical strike. So if we are discussing about the previous history between the both nations, we all know that the relationship between both nations are not good. The Pakistan times to times do some bilateral actions so that the relationship between the both nations are deferred. So if we are talking about the recent incidents which happened by the Pakistan in 14 February 2019 as surgical strike, on the reflection of that, after the 12 days of after the 12 days of the Pulwama attack, India took initiative and do the part of the surgical strike. During the surgical strike, India helped the lot of the arms and weapons, the which one is 12 Mirage 2000, LCW and V, with the help of the aircrafts and the helps received from the France and the US nations, we easily can tackle the situations. If we are talking about more relationship between both nations, India and Pak basically fought 3 wars in 1965, 99 and 1971. India defeated the nation badly and got victory on the same wars. if we are related at present scenario, the bilateral relations are also not good and not on the stable condition. So both nations should try to make it keep simpler and took more initiative during export import facilities. In the previous records, India and Pak import exports crucial oils and more aspects and also participate in the formal activities. So if we are talking about the overall scenario behind between the relationship and after the surgical strike, the both nations should try to make their relationship healthy with the continuous conversation and the import export facilities also, so that the relationship between the both nations will be stable. And okay, thank you, sir.
We can change our friends, but we cannot change our neighbors. China is one such neighbor who has continuously dominated India at the disputed border regions with India, be it Aksai Chin region or be it Arunachal Pradesh. Also, China have continuously used their veto powers to deny India from entering into the United Nations Security Council permanent membership. And recently, the China is using their military strategic theory to increase their dominance in the Indian Ocean region. Jhin friends, today I will be delivering a lecture on the topic string of pearls theory. String of pearls theory is a military strategic theory which is used by the China to enhance their trade and connectivity route toward the Central Asia as well as in the European countries. Under this string of pearls theory, China is continuously building ports and doing investments in the countries in the Indian Ocean region. Recently, they have started constructing a port in the Pakistan, Gwadar port, which will give China a start to increase their connectivity in the Indian Ocean region in the Arabian Sea, which will be a huge boost to China. Also, they have built ports in the Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean region, Hambantota port. Also, they have a port in the Djibouti, which is Dovalak project, and the Dar es Salaam project in the Tanzania. It is done by China to increase their connectivity with this trade routes and also to increase their military presence to dominate the India in the naval warfare in the Indian Ocean region. And also India is also taking some preventive measure to counter this string of pearls theory of the China. But under this India is using their iron curtain theory. Under this also India is using their investment power to build ports in this region. They have installed their coastal radars in Maldives, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh. Also they have built ports in the Sitwe port which is in Myanmar. They are using the Changi ports in Singapore to block the China from the Malacca port. And also they have signed an agreement with Bangladesh to use their ports as a naval base. And then we have already have logistic supply agreement with a country like USA, France, who have their naval base in a Diogo Garcia Island, which is in the Indian Ocean region. Also, we have signed an agreement with these countries to use their naval ports as a naval base in the Djibouti region. And one of the most important project of the India is the Chabar port in the Iran, which is just 80 kilometers away from the Gwadar port in the Indian Ocean region. And this will be used to counter the China string of pearls theory. Talking about the positives we have under this string of pearls theory. While countering this string of pearls theory, what I would say, India have built a huge and important strategic relationship with other countries like the Quad nation, Japan, US, Israel, and the other nation like USA, UK, France, which will give India as a good opportunity to become an economic partner of these countries and ultimately boost their trade and also the military presence in the Indian Ocean region, and also by conducting various maritime exercises in this region. Thank you.
For your actual SSBs.